LinkedIn, and Facebook, and of course, YouTube. Welcome to another Tuesday Talk. So glad to be here with you again, wherever you are, and with another topic. Today's topic is an interesting one, the missing skill for creating alignment. All right. This conversation is a good investment of your time if you have been in scenarios that everyone is in the room, it seems everything is in place, but things are not moving forward. Particularly if you are on senior table, that there are so many people with different skills and perspectives around the table, but things are not moving forward. Or you are collaborating on a perhaps new partnership or a new venture, and you know that there is so much opportunity here, you know that there is so much good work that can be done, but for some reasons, things are not moving forward. If you are um, new to my Tuesday Talks, welcome. And if you have been here with me before, welcome back. As you know, I always talk about two topics is either landing higher profile roles for senior managers that they have big aspirations, or landing and creating higher impact profile and going beyond your organization, and perhaps doing advisory, consulting, or mentoring. So I'm passionate about these two topics. All of them go under the topic of or banner of executive career coaching. But really, what they are is getting to you to the point that someone taps on your shoulder and invites you to the table for the skill that you have to solve a particular problem. Either headhunting, being headhunted for a new role, or being tapped on the shoulder for a new opportunity, a new engagement. So there are two groups of people. Being a product girl, there are two personas, two archetypes. The first ones, I call them executives to be, and that's the work we do in that space is about positioning you as thought leader, as subject matter expert in your space. So you're seen for that. And the second group, that they are already in C-level positions and they are thinking about transitioning out. The work that we do in that space is monetizing your know-how. So why would I do this? A girl that her background is technology and business transformation and agility. Because throughout my career, I've seen so many times there are people that they are fantastic at what they do. They really are the brain and heart behind some of the really key solutions or ideas, but they never are recognized and they never get invited to the table. And I always wondered why. Why? And you see someone else who get those jobs, and you think, how is that even possible? But it is possible. And if you look at people that they always get promoted or they are sought after for the way they do stuff, you can see there's always a lesson to learn. And if we put ego aside, we can see they are doing something differently as how they position themselves, how they provide their um, views and thoughts, or how they go about what they do. So it's not just about what they do, it's how they go about doing it and how they bring people and influence the thoughts and decisions. So I always have been observing them, and because I work with a lot of senior managers and executives, you can see there are some nuances and little techniques and ways that they operate. So first I started to learn them, and then I started to teach them, and over time I started to do more and more of that. The So mostly the topics of Tuesday Talks are always about a concept in leadership, or and after that an example either from my work or my clients, and then I always invite you to take an action. What's the point of learning a concept and not knowing what's the next thing after that? I'm always about a style, speed, and a structure. So here is the structure of calls, conversations for a Tuesday Talk. The topic for today is ability to create alignment. And it's a skill that the more senior you become, you need to gain, which has very little to do with your skill. You can be amazing in technology, fantastic in finance, wonderful in operational excellence, any skill that is required, particularly for your craft. But this particular skill is needed for moving larger pieces of work, for creating and managing complex change. And creating alignment is important because most of the time, when we are leading something or someone else is leading something, we are asking ourselves and the team, okay, who is behind it? Who is in charge? Who is accountable? And then people with different skill sets come together to create the change. However, before we are able to move and make a change and people commit to that change, we need to create alignment. So the skill that I'm talking about is an overlooked skill, but it is critical. And here's how you know it's overlooked. Because when you look at the table and people are around it or group that they are making this happen, let's say you're talking about a partnership or new venture or a new change, everyone comes to the table and they know that they need to bring their perspective. That's why they're here. But what goes on is this. They only bring their perspective and think that's it. The next thing here is I bring my perspective and a way to align all these perspectives. And it's everyone's responsibility to work towards that. And that's where this is the point that is always overlooked. So you would say how you would do that. I'm going to give you a simplified view of this one. Of course, there are many techniques or scripts, and you look at the collaboration and all of those ones. You can Google it, you can find it, you can hire it, you can acquire it. But in this conversation, I'm bringing your attention to this skill and the need for acquiring this skill, alignment making. And there's one group of people that they do this one for the job, for the living, and that's in politics. Lobbyists are the ones that they've mastered the skill to be able to align people, sometimes with conflicting interests or very different ideologies and views. But lobbyists are the ones that they've mastered the art of creating alignment by bringing people with different views towards a goal so they can collect the votes and get to the goal that they have. Their goal and their intention is outside the scope of this conversation. My point is this is a skill. And failing to gain that skill and master it as a line item will lead to a lot of frustration because you can see all the right people are around, but we're not moving forward. The simplified view of what's required is two things. Firstly, knowing the objective, knowing the options ahead of us, knowing how to compare these ones and what is the point of comparison, and then bringing alignment to perhaps options, reducing options, and then making a decision and moving forward. That part, a a comparison matrix, you would think, oh, so what's new about this? Nothing. The next point is the part that is very important to move forward, is that each step of process stop and make sure that everyone is with us and you have seen everything through before moving to the next step. That part is the part that is difficult and is overlooked. Therefore, people assume objective is clear, options are clear, people are in agreement that these are the options, people are in agreement that we're moving forward. But if you actually step at each one of these steps and go around the table and is everyone okay? Are we moving forward? And not move forward until everyone is aligned or on the same page. That part is the one that is mostly overlooked. Now, when you think of this one, what I wanted to bring to you today in terms of going from being a great, excellent manager or seasoned professional to a leader that can not only deliver, but also bring people together and move them forward, is that at a point of time, regardless of what's your skill, this is what I want you to think about. This whole process and a way to move everyone forward step by step and making sure everyone is with us to the end. That's what I wanted to share with you. So for the action, I invite you to look around the next couple of weeks and see when you go to a meeting, when you go to a different conversation, in your mind, while people are discussing things, think of, okay, do we all know what's the objective? Do we have the options? Do we know how to compare these things? Because you can compare options on so many different variables, but have you done that? Do we have agreements on the comparison? And then, of course, do we have an agreement on the solution? This simplistic view is difficult for really junior people because they don't know the process, and it's very challenging for very senior people on executive level because they all think they know better. For the middle part, when everyone is the same level, that's just no brainer. But for these two groups, very new people to the business and very senior, this process, which is very simple, is overlooked. So for action, next couple of weeks, I want you to just observe. Is everything in place? And is everyone aware of where they are in the process? And then later on, you can decide if you want to come in, lean in, and move team forward, or just remain the observer and the contributor. Creating alignment as a senior manager, moving to the leadership space is your responsibility. You're going to gain that skill set. And remember, before commitment, you need alignment. That's it for this Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week, same time, same place, and a different topic. Thank you so much.